109, Sass Cracker. 092, Pocopolis. 101, Slugbug. 112, Gnarly Quinn. 14, Violent Violet. 18, Raven. 187, Foxy Dash. 26, Belladonna. 42, Slay Her. 49, Northern Frights. 918, Locked and Loaded. 92, Killer Quinn. And the team captain, 975, Snitches Get Stitches.
And my name is Dr. Omnivore, and I'll be telling you who's skating for the Seattle Derby Brats this morning. We have 00 Dust Bunny, 009 Millihertz, 102 Luella DeVille, 208 Magneta, 212 Wackoon, 305 Psychosis, 321 Rainbow Bite, 330 Alice in Thunderland, 36 Narwhal, 39 Rubellious, 437 Mom Likes Me Best, 5 Pterodactyl, 517 The Curly Dervish, 54 Pound Cake, and 6 Evelina. So excited to get this started this morning, Shifty. Should be a really fun game.
Whoop, whoop.
So if you are on our stream this morning, go ahead and give us a shout out for a skater or a team, and we would love to do that, love to have a dialogue with you. We were having a bunch of fun talking about Topeka yesterday, because that's where Ad Astra's coming from. A little Midwestern love. We just had an official fly past us.
All right, starting out, we have number 517, Curly Dervish, against number 42, Slay Her, at the jam line.
Good morning again, Renee. Big fan of 092 Paco. The Smitties, hello from Shira in Corpus Christi, Texas. Excited for this game. Another good morning from South Dakota. Go Ad Astra, go Slayer. Thank you, Becky, again for being here. Emmers, nice to see you as well. Go Ad Astra. So Ad Astra getting a lot of love in the Slack channel. Sorry, in the YouTube channel. Which makes sense. Most of those people are going to be watching remotely from home.
Yeah.
So nice rollback off the line there on the Curly Dervish. Neither jammer able to make it past the pivot line at this point. Just kidding. Curly Dervish is now our lead jammer for Seattle Galaxy. Slayer trying the outside line, not able to get around Millihertz, 009.
Curly Dervish now working the front of the pack.
Ad Astra dropping the two bridges. Curly Dervish stretching the pack out to the end of the engagement zone there with 092 Apocalypse. Curly Dervish is let through. Curly Dervish pushes through for a full 4.
Forces their way through.
Nobody's really letting anybody through here in roller derby. Ad Astra again setting up at the front of the pack to stop Curly Dervish. Nice hit to the outside by 18 Raven. Curly Dervish rolled back almost to the pivot line, right there in turn 1. And we've had a star pass to Slugbug on Ad Astra, and that's going to end our jam. Slugbug was the primary pivot yesterday in most of Ad Astra's games.
Yes.
Oh, let me get our penalty tracker up and running.
Lining up, we're going to have Foxy Dash and Rubellious at the line.
Ooh, Foxy Dash was fun to watch yesterday. Foxy Dash, a Team USA skater.
Almost out at the front, but gets forced out and recycled.
Rubellious straight through the middle, wide open lane. Great job. Lead jammer goes to Seattle again.
Foxy Dash working that low angle through that tripod.
Evelina getting super low to sort of counter Foxy Dash there with a nice little bump to the outside. There were so many star passes yesterday. Go Slugbug. That is absolutely right, Renee.
Rubellious through for another scoring pass.
And I feel like Slugbug took every single one of those star passes. Oh, and we have somebody going to the penalty box. I did hear a whistle. Oh, there we go. Okay. Black 321. That is going to be Rainbow Bite, being the first penalty of our game. So taking a seat there in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box for an illegal position. Rubelius, I was going to say with one to beat, Rubelius is out, picking up another 4.
Foxy Dash with a Zoom Room Apex jump finally clears the pack.
Did Foxy Dash do the patented sort of spin around Apex jump there?
I don't think it was a spinning one. It was
like
just
that right there.
That's the one.
Is their signature move. Saw it a ton yesterday. Foxy Dash doing a great job. I'd like to say thank you to a couple of our sponsors. First being Porque No Taqueria. Porque No Taqueria, the sunniest place in Portland, voted the best tacos and Mexican food in PDX. Those of y'all from the Topeka area, come to Portland. Have some Porque No tacos. I promise you won't be disappointed.
We have Violent Violet at the line and Pound Cake. Pound Cake off to the front, working the front of the pack is forced down and out.
Locked and
right
loaded.
Out of the gate.
Locked and loaded, covering that outside line. Unsure how those weren't forearms, but...
I'm not sure either.
But, well, there's like so many sets of eyes. Maybe our perspective is very different. Looks like we have a star pass on Ad Astra to Slayer.
All right, Pound Cake through on the first scoring pass of this jam.
Slayer also not finding a lot of success, still stuck there at the back, looking for some offensive help from number 975. That is Snitches Get Stitches. Snitches Get Stitches trying to drag Slayer through the pack. As we've seen in several games, that's a really quick trip to a multiplayer penalty. Do you want to switch positions? There we go. This is where I was all day yesterday anyways. But let's not get you all hung up on, there we go. Now we're all set.
Okay, now I can see better.
We had to redistribute ourselves at our announcer desk.
All right.
That is Northern Frights, Narwhal.
Narwhal going to the front.
Oh, man, I
Forced out.
thought Narwhal was going to be able to stay in bounds on that. Narwhal did manage to get lead, but then got recycled and eaten back into the pack. Northern Frights on that outside line as well. Star is off.
Foxy Dash now playing defense.
Foxy Dash can do it all. Narwhal up to the front, finding Raven and number 09, Sasscracker. Sasscracker got MVP in the first Ad Astra game yesterday.
Very nice.
Narwhal around the outside, finding Raven. Raven, one of Ad Astra's super, super effective blockers. Narwhal calling it off. Despite getting lead, Narwhal was able to put 3 points on the board.
Raven was responsible for some really nasty violence against Nico yesterday, and then punctuated with a flip off, so let's not be too nice to him.
Let's hope y'all's cords don't get tied up again. Inevitably, our cords will get tied up again.
It's because we're always do-si-doing up here.
We are. If you got to see us, we're constantly up here in the mez at our announcer's desk, just dancing around. We haven't quite upgraded to wireless headsets yet. That would be a really nice thing to put in the budget for next year.
Sure would. Budget? What's that?
What's a budget? Meanwhile, back on the track, we've got Foxy Dash up against Magneta.
Foxy Dash going straight from blocker to jammer.
Contacting a downed skater, I believe, is what that just was for Sasscracker. Okay, Sasscracker returning to the track.
That looks like maybe another forearm, but missed again.
Who can sit still during Derby? This is also true. My feet were so sore and swollen yesterday from standing most of the day. Again, if you were listening, well, I guess I wasn't on stream all day yesterday, but we had, how many games total yesterday? 5, including the adult game?
God, I lost count.
I
was here all
announced
day.
every single one of them. Shifty was here all day. I announced every single one of those games. Shifty got to go down and watch his kid play, which is always fun.
That's my only rule here.
Don't announce your
Don't
kids' games.
work
I
my
have
own kids'
adopted
games.
the exact same rule. Violent Violet and the Curly Dervish both jamming. Nice hit to the inside there by Snitches Get Stitches. Curly Dervish shaking that recycle off. Curly Dervish out on initial. Violent Violet still in the midst of that tumultuous pack. Snitches Get Stitches again, grabbing a piece of the Curly Dervish.
Violent Violet forced out at the top of the apex and recycled. Re-enters the track behind the initiator, not the deep recycler, which is the smart move.
Violent Violet trying the inside line. You're just so vulnerable when you try the lines. I was talking with somebody about that yesterday. They're like, why do all the jammers, it was one of our newer announcers. I was, why do the jammers always go up the middle? And I was like, because you're super vulnerable on the lines.
Yes.
It does not take very much in order to get knocked out one way or the other. Slugbug taking a star pass for Ad Astra. I think that's probably about the 150th star pass that Slugbug's taken this weekend. But Ad Astra is so good at those star passes. Sounds like we've got a timeout being called. Shifty, what does that mean?
That means we go to our favorite sponsor for real estate, Deb Counts Tabor, the official
Welcome
real
to-
estate sorry.
It's so early.
It is early. The official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Welcome to PDX.
There we go. We got there.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I think if I had a word allowance per week, I think I used them all up yesterday. By the time I did that adult game with Breadpool last night, I was just kind of, I didn't have anything. I had no gas in the tank. I had no originality left. Thank God for Breadpool and all of his stats and being able to carry that game.
He's the stats master.
He was so much fun to announce with.
I'm sure. I've never done that with him.
Oh, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Indeed. Also here due to junior roller derby. His kid starts playing roller derby. Now, next thing you know, he's an official.
And now she's a high-ranking junior official, too. Jawbreaker, pretty goated. Most valuable pivot should be a thing. You are absolutely correct. Is the stream super laggy this morning? I am getting the nod from my production team that yes, it is. So we are working on fixing that. We apologize.
Northern Frights and Rubellious jamming this time out. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear. Rubellious just got out and is lead jammer. Now there's been a star pass, and Foxy Dash is our new jammer for Ad Astra.
Rubelli is powering through that pack, picking up a quick 4 and calling it off. Yeah, Lisa, we're working on it. We're trying to get some things figured out here. If you've ever been to our building, it's very old. The infrastructure is lacking. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of devices connected to our internet right now. But we're doing the classic IT of turning it off and turning it back on again. checking all of our cables and connections, and asking folks in-house to turn their phones into airplane mode. Violent Violet and Pound Cake jamming this jam. Pound Cake up to the front. Beautiful offensive help there by number 6.
Pound Cake out for lead jammer.
Evelina, sorry, I could not read the name from up here, but that was Evelina with the great offensive help there for Pound Cake. And another star pass on Ad Astra to Slugbug. So it looks like we've got Narwhal and Foxy Dash down on that Jam on Hawthorne jam line.
Familiar matchup. Narwhal.
Oh, beautiful job. Narwhal was almost clear. That was a cut track. Yep. That is going to lead Foxy Dash in a power jam. Well, I don't think Foxy Dash can make up the full 47 points between the two teams right now. I do think that Foxy Dash is going to dramatically reduce the distance between the two teams. Although I could be wrong.
Tough defenders, though.
I know. I was just going to say that. I could be very wrong.
They come from a culture of former national champions. And
and Narwhal's back on the track already. So Foxy Dash not able to capitalize very well on that power jam.
Ooh, jammer defense.
So congratulations to Seattle for being able to effectively neutralize that power jam.
Wow, Foxy Dash with a spinning move along the tape. Foxy Dash now trying to capitalize and get Ad Astra back in this game. That'll put a dent in it.
Ooh.
Foxy Dash comes in hot.
That was a hip to hip. I almost heard that crack up here. Oh, that was a beautiful job there by, well, actually, I think there was some friendly fire there by Dust Bunny. Big hits happening at turn 1. That snitches get stitches. Nice job by Psychosis to meet every one of those hits head on.
All right, Ad Astra now on the board, 14-55, Seattle in the lead.
That's a timeout. That's a welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor timeout. All of our timeouts brought to you by RCR's official realtor.
All right, we got 208 Magneto jamming for Seattle Galaxy going up against number 42. That is Slater. Starting the split pack this time with your Ad Astra team close to the jam line and your Seattle team hugging that pivot line. We're probably moved back on 5 seconds.
Well, I was going to say thank you to one of our announcers, but it looks like we're just going to have Derby here in a second. Oh, there we go.
All right, and there's the end to that. Luckily,
That Jam on Hawthorne jam line, you keep hearing me say that. The jam line's brought to you by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnomnomnivore friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast.
All right, Slayer and Magneto. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear. Slayer forced out. Oh, and now we have a whistle.
So game's been really good so far. As you can see, at Astra 14, Seattle Galaxy 55. We're back in another official timeout. So this timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Debcon Tabor. Penalties looking really good for a quarter of the way through the game. 5 on Ad Astra. They seem to be pretty much, well, there's not a single repeated one. So we've got a cut track, an illegal contact, illegal position, low block in a direction. And then over on the team in black, Seattle, only 3 penalties so far. Again, an illegal position, a cut track in a direction.
All right, Allison Thunderland back up on their own power. We'd like to see that.
I'm pretty sure that neither jammer had lead at the ending of that jam, so we will not be doing an injury reset and will instead be starting a fresh jam here. So that jam number 10 would be a 0-0 jam for our teams.
All right, Jam 10 lining up here.
All right, we got Curly Dervish on the line for Seattle Galaxy. Going up against 42, that is Slater.
Curly Dervish and Slay Her at the line. All right, the rolling whistle means roller derby time.
Classic pose of Northern Frights down there. This deep breath, meditative stuff, and then the whistle and the explosion.
The Curly Dervish zigzagging, finds one last defender in the front.
Who is that? Oh, that's Slugbug.
That might have been out of play now.
Yep. But that was Slugbug. I was like, who's the pivot? Slugbug. Curly Dervish. Beautiful lateral work, dipping around the outside there.
That's how you win as a jammer. Do the unexpected.
Looks like we have a high block being called on number 5 of the Seattle Derby Brats. That is going to be Pterodactyl. Curly Dervish coming back around.
Forced out.
Oh,
and
I was
recycled.
like, I was like, where's the other jammer? Northern Frights has become part of the pack down there with the star off, waiting for Slugbug to come out of the penalty box to do a star pass. Slugbug trying to get Northern Frights through. Millihertz and Mom Mike Likes Me Best are having none of it.
Slugbug now, the jammer, and through the pack, but there's the call off.
Forcing the call off by the Curly Dervish. I'd like to say thank you to Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. I was going to stop for French fries on my way home last night, but then it turns out it was really late and I didn't want to.
That happens. Especially after you've been at the hangar for 20
12
hours.
Yeah. I just wanted to go home. Was I hungry when I got home? I absolutely was. Another official timeout. It's timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Debcon Tabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers.
You're so fast with that this morning.
My energy drink is finally kicking in.
Oh, that's what I'm missing.
Oh yeah,
Energy
it's
drinks.
high octane.
I'm gonna be the sloth over here on this side.
That is totally fine.
Violent Violet and Rebellious jamming.
Beautiful.
Rebellious quickly out and becomes lead jammer.
Violent Violet trying that inside line, and instead finding a whole lot of skaters in black. Galaxy really covering both lines very effectively.
Rebellious on that scoring pass. All right, we have another star pass for Ad Astra. Now, Slay Her with the star. Comes around, is forced out, and then there's the whistle, but there might have been a point or two stolen there. Sure enough. 2 more points on the board for Ad Astra.
just under 12 minutes left in this half. Looks like Northern Frights is back on that line, up against 54. That's our friend Pound Cake.
All right, Northern Frights facing off with Pound Cake this time. Pound Cake.
Oh, beautiful job. Pound Cake getting around TNT, or not, sorry, not TNT, Slugbug. TNT is 101, but not that 101.
Pound Cake zigzagging through the pack.
And we have a star pass to Slugbug on Ad Astra. Oh, TNT caught a piece of Pound Cake, forcing Pound Cake out. Now we're going to attempt to do a little eat the baby.
Full track.
Pound Cake says, we're just not going to do this. I got my 4 points.
Yeah. That's always the smart move with that eat the baby business.
Yeah, like I feel like it works best in those 2-minute jams where there's nobody who has any power necessarily. Like if I was that jammer, I'd do the exact same thing. Like
Sure.
I'm not going to play this game.
Right.
Violent Violet jamming up against Narwhal. Narwhal finding Stitches, get Snitches. Snitches get Stitches up at the front of the pack, being backed up by Slugbug there. And number 92, Apocalypse.
Narwhal through for lead jammer.
Just kidding, that's Killer Quinn. 092 is Apocalypse. 92 is Killer Quinn. That's Killer Quinn. We have a cut track being called on Violent Violet, which is going to leave Narwhal and the Galaxy in a power jam. Alice and Thunderland and company setting up for some offense. Looks like Narwhal may have read that wrong. It should have gone to the inside. Instead, Narwhal's going to call it off and just ice Ad Astra in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. So, number 208, that is Magneta, is going to be jamming for the Brats.
Power start.
With this power start, and not just power start, but pack advantage too, since the pivot is taking a seat in that Rebel Heart penalty box as well. But you start thinking about who's actually on the track, and it's locked and loaded. Snitches get Stitches and Raven. Locked and loaded thought they got a penalty, but I think it was just a not an illegal start. Oh, Violent Violet out of the penalty box, quickly moving through the pack. Huge hit to the outside there by Snitches get Stitches. I think Raven, I thought the refs were signaling that Raven was going to get a penalty off of that.
Yeah, it looked like a back block to me.
Instead, the Galaxy jammer is going to be taking a seat in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. So, Ad Astra will have power at the start of this jam. Topeka has an 09, 092, and 92. Good luck with that. Yes, and then it seems like there's actually a lot of overlap between numbers among teams. So Ad Astra has a 101. Slugbug, obviously. RCR has a 101, and it's TNT. So I'm getting a lot of numbers mixed up between the teams. It's fine. We're all doing our best.
Foxy Dash keeps the toes inside the tape.
Yeah, Rainbow Bite really thought that she had hit Foxy Dash out. Everybody back on the track. Magneta up at the top, through, past Slayer. What do we have going on next? I don't know, but I am going to say thank you to Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of RCR since forever.
The dawn of time.
Literally as long as I've been involved with the league,
Yeah.
Black Cat has been, I think they're probably one of our original sponsors.
I think so, too.
I'll have to ask Mean about that, but I'm pretty darn sure they've been at it for forever. And just the graphic that just popped up, our welcome to PDX.com, pop up there because all of our timeouts sponsored by Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts-Tabor, the official
Yes, they
realtor of the Rose City Rollers.
We can also take this moment to talk about Roller Rally, which is our junior program
That's right.
fundraiser. There's the QR code on the screen. If you're out there in the world and you want to scan that, please donate to the juniors program at Rose City Rollers. It is enormous for us and our kids here in Portland.
Yeah, our juniors program has almost 200 youth skaters between 7 and 17 years old, and they really are some of the strongest, most talented athletes here in Portland. So we really need everybody's assistance. We try and raise $36,000 every year for our juniors program. That goes towards scholarships. It goes towards our rent and roll program. It goes towards hiring our coaches and other staff and putting bouts on. So super, super important. You can use that QR code that was on the screen, or you can text ROLLER, ROLLER 25 to 44321 if you wanted to make it even a little bit easier.
We also raise money through that for our Rosebuds All-Stars national travel team. Here we go. Violent Violet and the Curly Dervish jamming. The Curly Dervish working at the front. Violent Violet working at the back. Curly Dervish now with one last defender.
Oh, and they were able to bump Curly Dervish out, but tripped on the recycle. So Curly Dervish, that wasn't nearly as long of a recycle, I think, as Ad Astra wanted.
And the side step, and the Curly Dervish now through.
Ooh, lots of whistles. I think those are all failure to reforms. When I hear a bunch of whistles like that, I'm like, failure to reform, pack destruction.
Yeah.
So now we've got 4 folks having some group therapy in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box.
Let's hope they can talk it out.
One of them is Violent Violet. So Curly Dervish in a power jam now. Seattle Galaxy just hit the 100-point mark. I think that is Millihertz, but did a great job of goading Raven at the back of the pack. It was Millihertz. Okay, good. I gave credit to the correct person.
Good job. Almost like you're a professional or something.
Well, I mean, it is roller derby. I do try to be professional. It slips occasionally. I'll take a second to say thank you to Ritual Dyes, Portland's local yarn shop with hand-dyed yarn tools and more, owned by a Buds parent / Wreckers skater. It says and Wreckers skater. That makes it sound like it's 2 people.
She told me yesterday that she's no longer a wrecker.
Oh, we should probably take that off then.
So now just a Buds parent, but a Buds parent to 2
times 2.
Rosebuds.
1 regional, 1 national. Right, because Mazzy's regional and Pancakes is national.
Yes, indeed.
It's like talent runs in that family. Rubelius and Northern Frights, both fighting for the chance to be lead jammer here. Over 30 seconds into the jam, no lead jammer has been declared. Northern Frights does have the cap off, and we have a star pass. That was a direction.
Rubelius now heading to the penalty box.
Rubelius knew it was a direction, or not. Not Rubelius. Who's the pivot? The pivot knew that was a direction as soon as it was called. 3-3-0, Allison Thunderland. That was gorgeous. Slugbug once again with the star pass on Ad Astra.
Slugbug's just going to sneak into the pack this time.
And because there was a star pass, there is no lead jammer. So we will go the full 2 minutes.
Big force out answered with violence.
Rubelli is trying that inside line. Locked and loaded right there. Allison Thunderland providing some beautiful offense for Rubelius to get through.
That seemed like a low block to me or some kind of clutching. Slugbug takes a second to recover and just waits for that clock to tick out.
Yeah. I don't know. If I got hit that hard 2 or 3 times in a row, I might also just wait for the for the clock to end on that jam.
I might just curl up and die.
Slugbug MV pivot. Yes. It's a timeout. I think by now I could probably ask the audience, what does a timeout here mean? And they would probably be able to answer me.
Deb Counts Tabor, the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. Welcome to PDX.
Thinking about moving to Portland? Want to play roller derby with us, or have your child play roller derby with us? Deb Counts Tabor routinely puts on home buying seminars that I've heard are very, very good. Oh, looks like we have an official review happening. So maybe it is looking for that low block that you thought you saw. Meanwhile, I'd like to say hi to Sasquatch HR, making nonprofit and small business workplaces better, sasquatchr.org. I feel like I might have already said that. But that's okay. Penalties slowly creeping up there with 2.5 minutes left on the board in our first period. Ad Astra is sitting at 13, nobody more than 3. And the Derby Brats are sitting at 11. Again, nobody more than 3.
I'm going to take this time to thank our exclusive protective gear sponsor of the Rose City Rollers,
Probably a
187
good
Killer
time.
Pads. 187 Killer Pads, often imitated, never duplicated, stick with the best. Also, 888, the certified sweat saver, developed, tested, and trusted by the best.
In a very physical game like this, it's probably good to thank our protection sponsors. I kind of feel like it's invoking good juju.
It is invoking good juju.
I got so excited. Speaking of yesterday, I hope everybody out there watched all of the games yesterday because I'm going to talk about one of the other games. I got so excited to see Spitfire.
Spitfire had an awesome game. Spitfire is a magician out there on the track.
Spit is great. I hadn't seen Cheech around in the longest time, so I saw Paola and got to see Spit and got super excited. In the exhibition season last year, Spit was my junior coach, one of them. And I just really got to know her, and she was super sweet, so I was glad to see her. Paola said that she'd taken some time off.
Yeah, she had a little leave of absence, but now it's back in action.
And doesn't look like she's missed a beat at all.
No. That kid's raw talent, extreme.
It's going to be really, well, I love juniors for the fact that there's so much
Dust Bunny out there with the moonwalk.
Moonwalking. Are we going to do more? Oh, are we
now
going
we're
to
getting lessons.
Clinic? I would love to see all of the Derby Brats moonwalk at the same time. Dust Bunny makes it look easy, and I know it's not actually that easy to moonwalk. But what I love about all of the juniors teams is that there's a lot of fluidity among the teams as people age up and move out. So there's constantly new talent, it feels like, coming into the different juniors.
Seattle had a big aging out batch last year. I think they had 7 kids, 7 of their regular sort of champion level skaters age out.
Goodness.
So they have a pretty fresh start right now.
Okay, the official review, nothing came of it. If the dot goes away, Seattle lost their official review. The dot did not go away. And there is somebody sitting in the penalty box. Did they win their official review?
I think they did, but it wasn't the thing that I saw.
Well, also, I was talking with Breadpool last night, and I was like, so what percentage of official reviews actually get one? And he's like, less than 5%. So I really wish we would have heard what that was. Because as part of the 5% or less.
I can speak as a former official that that even when there is an official review called, if it wasn't called in the first place, it's likely that it just wasn't seen.
Correct.
It doesn't mean that there wasn't an offense to be argued. It just, the action is so busy in roller derby that it's hard to catch every detail.
Apocalypse going to the penalty box there at the whistle on a forearm. Renee, you are totally right. It is so much fun to watch the aged out skaters skate as adults as well. I don't know if you managed to catch our adult game last night. Probably was pretty late over there in the Midwest. But there's quite a few skaters on the teams that skated both Friday night and last night that did come out of our juniors programs who are awesome. And actually, McGrady and Graham Reaper both came out of the Derby Brats. Two of our skaters from last night.
Lots of former Portland skaters, former Seattle skaters.
Pretty much anybody from the Pacific Northwest. Magneta, currently lead jammer for the Galaxy, getting through for 4 and calling it off since Violet was right there on Magneta's heels. It looks like this will be our last jam of the half. There's our whistle now. Northern Frights and Narwhal. Narwhal's been a very successful jammer for the Galaxy. Stitches get Stitches with the hit out to the outside. Narwhal run back to the bottom of turn 4. Oh, Little Regs is a fun skater to watch, and Coda. Oh my goodness, you love the same skaters my daughter does. Those are two very, very fun skaters. Regs and Coda are also two of like just the nicest humans in the world. So looks like Northern Frights has the cap off. Maybe looking for pivot. Slugbug, I'm not sure.
Narwhal serving time in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box.
Apocalypse going back to the penalty box. If I can bring my penalty tracker up on a direction. There was our star pass. Maybe. Maybe not. Narwhal back on the track. Beautiful job by number 5 on the Derby Brats. This Pterodactyl again, bringing that offense right when it was needed.
Northern Frights now almost a minute and a half into the jam on the initial pass.
Star pass, though, to Slayer, number 42. Oh, just kidding. It's not. It's Slugbug. It's not Slayer. That's interesting because they have two very, very different numbers. Slayer's 42. Slugbug's 101.
Narwhal through and makes a scoring pass. And this is the end of the jam, the end of the half.
Oh, goodness. We've got about 10 minutes before we come back. Shifty and I are going to go probably grab some more caffeine. And we'll be right back, and I hope you will too. And we'll try and fix some of our glitchy stream problems. Although I'm watching the stream right now, and it looks like it's working pretty good. So hopefully we'll see you back in 10.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We got you.
We just did our gear checks.
I got
And there's
myself a
the
cup
rolling whistle.
got myself a cup of coffee.
Ah, see? That's what I neglected to do.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're going to come watch the pedals today. That must mean that you are possibly in our building here pretty soon, since the pedals are playing next. I don't think they play until 11 though, right? I think our timeline is that they don't go on until 11. Yep, 11. Rose Petals All-Stars versus TJRD Nanobots. Cool. Bring our penalty tracker back up. Did we give a recap of the first half? I don't know. Nothing changed since what I said at the beginning of halftime there. Everybody's in position. There's our whistle. Slayer and the Curly Dervish.
The Curly Dervish working the front, Slayer working the back.
Both teams dropping a bridge. Curly Dervish pushing the pack out. Will be out of play here. One to beat. That was
that's
a really
high.
big.
That should have been a high block
high or
call.
a direction. Maybe both.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I'm shocked that wasn't whistled.
Slayer through with the star off. Curly Dervish calling it off. Oh, Renee, Paco's actually doing fine. Paco only has two penalties. One was a forearm and one was a direction. It's a pretty physical game, all things considered. So I think Paco is still playing a very, very clean game.
And then
Oh my gosh. Just reviewing a little bit of footage from yesterday. Okay, Rubelius lead for Seattle Galaxy. Foxy Dash headed to the penalty box on a back block. That is going to leave Rubelius and the Brats in a power jam. Rubelius picking up another 4 for the Brats. Oh, that was beautiful. That was an absolutely gorgeous setup. Zoom
Perfect.
room apex jump.
perfect looking apex jump, so clean.
Totally clean. And the other Brats blockers did such a great job of making sure that nobody was going to knock the jammer out of play. Here it is actually on our Radical Wheels replay. Rubelius comes around. Beautiful job. Excellent, excellent job. Thank you, Radical Wheels, for sponsoring that amazing Zoom Room Apex jump. Foxy Dash standing in the penalty box up against Pound Cake.
Pound Cake straight through the inside.
That was
lead jammer.
Psychosis and number 437 on the Brats. Mom Mike's likes me best. Setting that up perfectly for Pound Cake to be able to get through and get lead. Foxy Dash now out of the box.
Oh. Foxy Dash looks down for just a minute to check their gear, I think, and then crashes into their own skater.
Found Slugbug, their pivot. A little bit of friendly fire. I had a pen. Where did my pen? Oh, I put my pen over on the other side. It's fine. I was gonna write you a note, but now I won't. Violet, Narwhal again.
Hammering
just
through.
Such an effective jammer for Galaxy.
Violet forced to the inside and then stopped on re-entry.
Unfortunately, impacting Evelina's outstretched arm.
Now Violet through on the initial pass.
Narwhal putting 4 on the board. Narwhal letting it play. Narwhal just has a ton of confidence in their own blockers to, that was a direction. Yep. Raven headed to the penalty box on a direction.
Violet, an excellent and tenacious jammer.
Super
Despite their
tenacious.
size.
Not giving up at all.
I know, a lot of heart in that kid.
Didn't give up at all yesterday either.
It's a marvel to watch kids like that who just keep going.
Magneta jamming for the Galaxy.
Foxy Dash back out.
Looks like our stream is behaving again. Can I get a confirmation of that? On my end, it looks like our stream is looking really, really well. We're doing good right now. Magneta through lead jammer for the Galaxy. Foxy Dash finding Millihertz, Pterodactyl, and number 305 Psychosis.
009 millihertz headed to the penalty box.
I really feel like that was another, yeah.
Raven heading to the box. Foxy
Dash through on initial. Magneta looking to put more points on the board, finding Slugbug there at the back of the pack. Getting the big yell from the bench to go ahead and call it, which Foxy does. Stream is good, good. We've got Rubelius jamming for the Galaxy next. Oh, everybody realized that there was somebody in the penalty box. We have a timeout. That's a Deb Counts Tabor and welcome to PDX timeout. Yes, we do have the refs making their rounds among the skaters, talking with coaches and officials. Smush. I believe there's some decisions happening down there. I'll be curious to see if what I think is going to pop up is going to pop up here. But I'd like to say thank you to another one of our sponsors, because we have many. Do you know that's what I hear from out-of-town announcers the most is, oh my gosh, you guys have so many sponsor reads. Because everybody loves to sponsor the Rose City Rollers. But WSL Leadership Coaching. Learn how to transform interpersonal conflict into organizational justice at WSLleadership.com.
Yeah, I'll do one too. Why not?
Why not?
Let's see here. Two-Town Cider. Damn fine cider made here, right here in the Northwest. You can get it at our concession stand, our beverage bar at the hangar here.
So it looks like we did have a blocker swapperoo there in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. Northern Frights and Rebellious both wearing the Jammer Star. Is the bench on the side of the EMTs? White skater switch on the penalty box. Yeah, that was Raven. So those are our EMTs to the left of the Galaxy's bench under the 187 Killer Pads banner. Rubelius in the penalty box for a back block.
Our wonderful, wonderful volunteer medics.
Our amazing volunteer medics. One of them is, I want to say, a family nurse practitioner. We have great medics. Usually it's Ice Hole, but Ice Hole did play last night, so probably getting a little bit of much needed sleep.
Slayer being recycled, re-entering. Rubellius standing now in the penalty box, ready to re-enter.
I think Slayer really thought she was free there, and then unfortunately a track gremlin caught a skate, giving the Brats just enough time to reform in front of Slayer.
Rubellius dancing on the tape.
Rubellius, another one of those just very, very tenacious jammers.
I'm amazed they stayed in bounds for that. Again, right on the tape with the tiptoes.
The line work that some of these jammers have at the juniors level is so amazing. I do feel like that was a back block also, but Slayer with one to beat in number 6.
Forced out though and recycled, and there's the end of the jam.
And that's Evelina. I feel like in a game like this, we also need to be telling folks the medic bench is clear.
Which is always good to see.
It is. The medic bench is clear. But yes, you can see under the scoreboard our amazing medics over there by the cabinets, helping us stay, maybe not stay safe, but stay well taken care of. Is this like the 7,000th timeout of the game? Because I feel like it is.
I feel like this game is going to go long, and then we're going to have a hard time with our schedule the rest of the day.
Well, it started late also. It started like 5 or 10 minutes late. But this timeout brought to you by our Sears official realtor. Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor.
All right, we start this one with one blocker, a pivot in the box for Seattle.
Foxy Dash and Pound Cake both wearing the stars.
Foxy Dash almost has their way, but is forced out at the top.
Gets to go back in.
No pass, no penalty.
No, they're getting her on a cut.
Oh, see?
That to me looked like a clear as day, no pass, no penalty. Okay, are we going to see it again on the replay?
Yes, we are. Here it is.
Okay,
but
so
the camera
hit out. Both went out.
Yep.
Nobody got superior position.
Yeah,
That-
I agree with you.
Okay, I got confirmation from somebody else that I am not insane.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much clearer.
Yeah,
it couldn't be much
Renee.
clearer. But
What? Same question.
these
Same
things
question.
these things happen, and it looks like officials are talking, so this may be reversed.
We were just having that conversation. It was very clear, no contact. And the pack was all the way back. No, we just all had that same conversation. Like, that was not a no. It was because I was like, oh, out on no passes, and then I saw the.
I was like, that is like the hardest thing as a nurse is to go, that wasn't good.
Oh, we say it on this all the time.
I found that you can't critique the rest, but you can say, I did not see where a cut could have happened, but
Yeah. Is this the game that we're watching right now?
No,
Oh, okay.
is that other?
Yeah.
I can't say like that wasn't a cut, but I can say I didn't see the cut. So like the
Our chat is even saying no pass, no penalty. Well, I'm hopeful this will get resolved. Again, I do have to say, I have a very, very different perspective than the folks who are down on the track. Very different perspective.
And mistakes are made. These things happen.
I would not be surprised, however, if there is an official review after this official timeout finishes for Ad Astra.
Well, I see Ad Astra's coach speaking with Smush.
Yeah. Good time to say thank you to a few more of our sponsors. Where am I? I'm on my second page here. So thank you, Menopause Northwest, Portland Vital Signs, and Trailhead Credit Union for being our sponsors. I really appreciate it. If you want to be a sponsor of roller derby in Portland, you totally can. If you're interested in sponsoring the RCR in 2025, you could have your mission-aligned brand integrated with our vibrant community of skaters, fans, and volunteers. The opportunities are truly endless. Go to www.rosecityrollers.com/our sponsors or email sponsorship@rosecityrollers.com to learn more. We have fabulous sponsors. And long-term, I mean, so talking about Black Cat Plumbing being a sponsor since forever, I feel like Porque No has also been a sponsor forever. WSL Leadership has been a sponsor forever. Secret Aardvark, all of those have been sponsors for absolute ever.
Two Towns has been quite a while.
Yeah, definitely since post-pandemic. I can't remember if they were there in the before times. So everything is fine among our skaters. We always love to see people walking. Official review should bring Ad Astra Jammer out of the box if necessary. That's what I'm thinking. And we do have, everybody seems to be talking down there. I don't know if Ad Astra will, I should feel like Ad Astra should challenge it. Yeah, I'm listening to our house announcers out of one ear, and they just said the same thing, that Ad Astra does have an official review available should they choose to use it.
But
maybe they won't.
It doesn't appear to be reviewed.
Okay. Okay. Does not look like anything additional is going to happen. So we have a power start for Seattle. There we go, Foxy Dash and Narwhal. Foxy Dash, of course, sitting in the penalty box. Narwhal out as lead jammer with like 5 seconds into the jam.
Yeah, they saw that one fast.
Oh, beautiful lateral cut across the track there for TNT to make contact with Narwhal. Foxy Dash out of the penalty box. Ooh, Foxy Dash backwards on the toe stops on the line. It was a cut, though.
All it takes is a teeny little bit to make that a cut.
Narwhal managing to get past TNT there. Not TNT. Oh, my gosh. Slugbug to pick up the full 4. Seattle Galaxy with 20 points there. Ad Astra, Foxy Dash is still standing in the penalty box. We have somewhere less than 10 seconds left on Foxy's penalty. Magneta lead jammer for the Brats. Foxy Dash back on the track. So maybe you're an official, maybe, or a former official. Maybe you, basically, I saw Pop-Tart do something really cool yesterday where Pop-Tart lines themselves up on the pivot line with a skate on the pivot line and then leans super, super far forward. And my skater said that when that happens, Enzo's hips essentially become the new pivot line. And so Pop-Tart was able to draw illegal positions on people right off the line. That sounds weird, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that if your foot is on the pivot line or the jam line, you're over it, and that's a false start.
So I'm going to go talk to somebody about that at the break, because I saw Pop-Tart do it once, but I'm not sure if what I was seeing is what I think I was seeing.
Yeah, their foot, as far as I understand, still should be inside the tape.
I think it was inside the tape, but maybe it had something to do with Pop-Tart being the pivot? I don't know. I'm going to have to go ask.
This is why I'm not an official anymore.
The good news is we've got some really, really high-ranking officials here who can answer those questions for me. All blockers have to be behind the pivot's hips if the pivot is on the line. Thank you, Renee. So it is a real rule.
Wow.
One of my favorite old rules. Look at that.
Interesting.
So many things I learned from juniors. So Pop-Tart did that in a couple games yesterday and drew the false start or the illegal position.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch for it.
Watch for it. Enzo's the only one that I've seen do it.
Well, Enzo has been skating
since they could
before
walk.
anybody,
Since he could walk. Renee, I want to meet you so bad. You've been like my #1 pal here on the chat. I feel like we're best friends across the country. If you're a coffee drinker, the coffee was actually pretty good downstairs. Usually it's burnt to heck. Today it was pretty good. Oh, no pack right off the line.
All right, Curly Dervish and Violent Violet jamming. Curly Dervish now working the front, slips past Raven, and becomes lead jammer.
Thunder Buddy. Is that Renee's real name? Thunder Buddy?
Violent Violet looking for a way. Forced inside now.
Forced inside. Evelina. Ooh. We see a lot of track gremlins out there today. Paco fell for it twice already this game. False start, but I'm glad she knows how to respond to the false start call. Yeah, just the yielding position, right? Arms up, yield position, let the rest of the pack go past. So I skated 7,000 years ago for 2 seasons.
Several thousand years ago?
7,000 years ago, in the before times, for 2 seasons. But I've been an announcer ever since then. But like I haven't actually put on skates. My kid tried to tell me, because I was coaching her team for exhibition, she's like, you should put skates on at practice. I'm like, do you want me to break something? That is such a quick way for me to break something.
I got to say, that's the part that I miss the most about not officiating anymore, is that I miss my time on skates.
I do miss my time on skates, but I think that being a skating official would probably break me less than...
Well, it's true. You're not taking,
trying to
you're not
take
taking
hits from
least,
juniors.
Yeah, at least not deliberately. But coaches on skates don't take hits from juniors.
They are if they're demonstrating drills. Okay, Thunder Buddy. You're no longer Renee. You're Thunder Buddy to me. 7,000 years. Very specifically 7,000 years. We have moved into an official review. Galaxy is calling that official review. But once again, everybody is coming back onto the track. Okay, I'm hoping that Smush is going to give us a rundown of what just happened. I miss skating with all the juniors. Coaches do take hits from skaters.
But not like full velocity gameplay hits.
Listen,
I mean, maybe a little
I'm
demos.
7,000 years old. Even even
I'm
low
7
velocity.
I'm 7,000 years old.
We'll break these brittle bones.
Osteoporosis setting in.
Need to up my calcium intake. Maya, classic OG Derby move, can only, okay, so it is an only pivot. So the pivot becomes the new pivot line
Right.
in that situation. Toe on the tape. Beautiful read by Rubelius to get around on the inside on toe stops. I think Northern Fright is doing that yielding position. Or maybe that's Violent Violet. That's Violent Violet. Or maybe Violet's just dropping the bridge. It was a false start in a yielding position. Okay. I could see some flop. Thunder Buddy says full velocity hits. Junior Derby brain is elite. I have taken many hits from Paco, and I can attest she hits hard. Yes, that is not somebody that I would want a full velocity hit leveled on me from.
No.
Like, that would be a quick trip to the ER for me.
I mean, my daughter hits me in the kitchen.
And Nico can hit hard. Abby will occasionally do that as well. I have a junior skater as well, and she'll get that body super low and then just hip check me, and I'm like, if you break my hip, you're going to feel so bad. And I will hold it over her head for years if I have to get a hip replacement because of her misplaced hip checks.
I don't know, you might feel better with the new hip.
I mean, maybe.
It'd be like a Christmas gift.
Since dynamics start to become more popular, it's been less common, but it's so good to remember when fighting for a front wall. Absolutely. You have to practice how you play. Oh, I would never ask any of the juniors to pull their punches in those situations. I am just not going to be on the end of the punches. They can hit full velocity. It's just not going to be me.
Well, my experience with the adult coaches who are on skates is that
They still play.
They'll do a slow demo, and then they'll have the kids do it for real.
All of the adults that I know who are coaching currently, well, because we're in exhibition, are all current skaters. So like Coco, Alley Cat.
No fear.
And they play.
All right, Foxy Dash and Pound Cake jamming.
Raven headed to the penalty box on an in.
Pound Cake.
Not on an in sub.
Pound Cake finds the way on the outside.
Oh, no, Raven was just an extra skater, I guess. Number 14, Violent Violet on white, is at 5 penalties. First person sort of in penalty jeopardy.
Oh, Pound Cake stays on the toes, spins around the outside like a ballerina.
We had Pound Cake versus Strawberry Short Fuse yesterday. I was like, battle of the cakes.
Yeah, I heard that.
Battle of desserts. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm retired.
Beautiful spinning apex jump.
Little zoom room apex jump. Hopefully we got that on replay.
I'm sure you're gonna.
Oh, Foxy, that was also gorgeous. That was jumping the straightaway.
All right, let's look at that replay. You're gonna see it because I don't know if you caught it.
I didn't catch it.
Look at this. Oh wait, where is it?
It's coming.
It's coming.
Locked and loaded, getting set up.
And spinning airborne.
Oh, Foxy is so gorgeous with that. Man.
So pretty.
Thunder Buddy, maybe that's one of the reasons I'm retired. Quite possibly. You might also be 7,000 years old. I did just make an assumption about you, and I apologize.
You said maybe.
I said maybe. I did
And
couch.
it was in jest.
Always. Nothing that I say is ever serious. Let's go, Foxy, my sweet BB Derby cousin. Foxy is amazing. I can see why they're on Team USA.
Narwhal and Violent Violet jamming. Violent Violet through.
On a no pass, no penalty. Narwhal also through, though. And Narwhal is lead.
Oh, Violent Violet. One opportunity to have that position and wasn't awarded it.
Thunder Buddy said I was correct. They are 7,000 years old. I mean, really, we all are. Actually, if you really wanted to get like super nerdy, we're all millions and millions of years old because we're all made up of the stardust that was created at the beginning of the universe.
Energy and mass.
That's right. We have an official timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Deb Counts-Tabor, and welcome to PDX. Thinking about moving to Portland? Let Deb Counts-Tabor bring you home. That's an OG read.
I know, I didn't know that one. I was like, did you just pull that one off the cuff?
No, that is an OG read. Again, Deb Counts-Tabor has been one of our major sponsors for another 1,000 years.
Thank you, Deb Counts-Tabor.
Yep. Well, I guess it was the old track. We got new track after Champs, but Deb Counts-Tabor had the big banner here right between the jam and the pivot line.
Uh-huh.
Right on the floor. Is that Galaxy's Thunder in the chat? Brian, is the stream going to show the nanobots? Of course, the stream is going to show all of the amazing games that we have this weekend, especially the nanobots. We would not.
That game is next, right?
That game is next.
We'll be here.
Wrong Thunder, still a buddy though.
All right, power start here. Seattle Galaxy.
And Violent Violet is at 6 penalties with 11 and a half minutes left in the game.
And Astra with the hard stop.
Narwhal, come on. That was really shovey. Narwhal doesn't seem to mind. Violent Violet standing in the penalty box. Narwhal finding Snitches Get Stitches. Stitches Get Snitches moving up to the front of the pack. We do have a penalty on someone.
Directional.
On Raven.
It could have been a directional and a high block, but they chose the directional.
Narwhal with, I was going to say 2 to beat. Still 2 to beat. Now it's none to beat. Oh, is Sierra a Thunder as well? Violent Violet's out of the box.
Seattle Galaxy with clear separation, but every one of those points hard fought. To the last minute.
We might have some missed connections happening in our live chat. It's kind of exciting. I'm Foxy and Locked In's cousin.
All right.
So
glad to have you here.
Not Locked In, Locked and Loaded.
Magneta through for lead jammer. Just
Raven back
minutes.
on the track. Magneta stepping around that pack. Coming up to the front, breaking through 4 points.
Northern fights forced out, being held up.
Ooh, big hit to the outside there by Snitches Get Stitches. And a star pass on Ad Astra to Foxy Dash. Jam's called off, just under 9 minutes left in the game. Penalty box is clear. Therapy is not in session. And we've got Slayer jamming for Ad Astra up against 517. That is Curly Dervish on Galaxy.
Curly Dervish doing some curly dervishness.
I feel like that was a little bit of parkour. Rolling over the back of Raven. Curly Dervish trying the inside, not finding anywhere. Trying the outside and finding locked.
Pinball bouncing off of each blocker.
Locked and loaded, dropping the bridge. Apocalypse with a penalty here. Illegal procedure. Position. Illegal position. Nice hits by Locked there, trying to stop. Well, slowed Curly Dervish down significantly, but not able to get her out of bounds. Nice spin around Raven and calling it off.
Score and call.
See, if I know who you guys are cheering for, I'll call out your people a lot more. I'll talk about your friends and family all day. 101 Slugbug at 5 penalties. We have an official timeout. This timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Dead Count Saber. It's never awkward in the chat, Maya. You're great. Okay, everybody making sure that we've got enough, not even enough, the right amount of skaters on the track.
Switching hats around with the Ad Astra.
So Ad Astra with 1 in the box. That is Apocalypse. Maya, once a derby skater, always a derby skater. Once part of the community, always part of the community.
I don't know what I would do with myself if I stopped coming here to the hangar.
I do not know what I would do myself if I didn't have derby. Foxy Dash quickly to the front of the pack. Lead jammer Ad Astra. Rubellious only about a quarter track behind and closing quickly. Rubellious, such a quick skater.
Another apex jump.
Beautiful zoom room apex jump by Foxy Dash. Rubellious answers it not with apex jump, but just by blowing through the pack.
Just smooth sailing.
Foxy Dash does the same thing. Foxy Dash content to run this.
This might be the most successful jam so far for Ad Astra and Foxy Dash.
Oh, Foxy almost able to stay in bounds. Calls it off. Ad Astra, net 3-point gain.
Yeah, 11-8 jam.
So here's our Radical Wheels replay. Full speed, beautiful apex jump. Could not have been better. Oh, see, here's the pivot. Well, not anymore, but Dust Bunny was stretching out the pivot line. But seeing that I don't think they were going to catch anybody, they moved forward. Back. They moved back. Northern Frights and Pound Cake.
Pound Cake through for lead jammer.
Oh, we got a little tangle up there. Oh, big tangle up in turn 1. Pound Cake able to capitalize on it, making it through 4 points. Foxy does fly. Holy cow. Star pass to Violent Violet.
That's a
That
directional.
was a big directional. Stitches get snitches going and taking a seat for that directional. Stitches get stitches up to 5 penalties. There was somebody else who was at 5. Oh, it was Slugbug was at 5. They removed a penalty on Slugbug.
Must have been reversed.
Or logged in error.
Well, sometimes I think in tournament play, we don't get the public announcement like you do in home team games.
That you're at 5 or whatever?
No, if there's an official review, they'll address the crowd in home team games and tell us what happened. But in tournament play,
it's less often.
It doesn't seem to happen. There's not as much addressing the audience about these things.
Yeah, we just kind of had to guess based on whether or not the dot went away.
Right.
Oh, beautiful job by Magneto to just weave through the pack there. Northern Frights locked down behind that Derby Brat wall.
Northern Frights looking for that opening on the outside, but
And we have a star pass on Astra to Violent Violet.
that's what I mean. So yes, I was right. Violent Violet got the star and was looking for that opening on the outside, and it looked like they might get through, but then was forced out.
That's a cut on Evelina. That is out of play.
Magneto slipping past defenders.
I feel like I'm just letting the game speak for itself right now.
I know, a little worse for wear now. You can see the exhaustion setting in after having to battle.
Hopefully both teams get a little bit of rest before having to play more today. Oh yeah, Ad Astra has another game against the Southside Rivals, but that doesn't start until 1. And Seattle has another game against our regional travel team, but that doesn't start until 3. So both of the teams will get a chance to rest some tired legs. Okay. Penalty box is clear. Narwhal. Ad Astra unable to wall up here. Okay, Violent Violet and Apocalypse were able to make at least a little bit of a wall.
Narwhal heading to the penalty box.
On a high block.
So Foxy Dash working the back of the pack. Now with the hat off.
And I think lead is still up for grabs. Foxy Dash does have the cap off. The pivot is goaded up at the front of the pack. That's Violent Violet.
All right, there's the star pass.
And we have a timeout being called. This timeout brought to you by Welcome to PDX and DevCon. Stay with the official realtor of the Rose City Rollers. 90 seconds left in the game. 90 seconds. Both teams still with 2 timeouts. Ad Astra still has their official review. I highly doubt any of that's going to really do anything here in the last 90 seconds. Well, now I kind of want to work the Ad Astra. I want to stream. I want to be a stream announcer for the other Ad Astra games today so that I get to talk to you guys again. You've been so much fun. Currently, I am not rostered for stream for the next Ad Astra game. But my child is.
You could take over that.
She only got 1 game yesterday. She was pretty bummed. So I'm giving her all the ones. 90 seconds in derby time could be like 10 minutes. You are absolutely correct. It's almost as bad as football time. But it could also just be 90 seconds. It could just be one more jam. Who do we have at the helm? We've got Curly Dervish. And then Slugbug is just jamming, not pivoting.
And the penalty box is clear.
It's a great possible final jam.
Both teams at full strength.
Slugbug finding Evelina on the outside.
Curly Dervish working the front. Both jammers locked down for the moment.
And
Curly Dervish
is our lead jammer. We've got a forearm being called on Apocalypse. Just kidding. Snitches get stitches. So Curly really just needs to hold on for a minute here, and Seattle
Time. Can they make it through the pack?
has already clinched the game.
We'll see. There they go for the outside line. Making it out. Cycle back just a little bit. Slug it up, also get out.
Ooh, nice hit to the outside there. Allison Thunderland saying, "Nope, I'm just gonna hit them out of the way so you can keep going."
Yeah, that was good move.
Star pass on Ad Astra to Slayer. Nice job, Slugbug catching a piece of the Curly Dervish, forcing to the outside. 22 seconds left on the period clock.
Come around. Curly's at the back of the pack, fighting back and forth. Slayer gets hit out and cycle back on that outside line. They're tired, but they're doing their best to keep moving.
Everybody looking really tired.
On the period clock.
There we go. That is the end of our game.
The Curly Dervish just wants to keep going, though. I mean,
There it is.
They could call it off.
Okay. There we go. That is the end of our, what is this, game 5 of Bridge City Riot? It's something. It's game 5. And we have an unofficial score of Ad Astra 64 to Seattle Galaxy 287. Very, very hard-fought game from both of our teams. I am Dr. Omnomnomnivore, and I'll see you back in, about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, for our next game. Thank you so much for joining us on the stream. Appreciated all of your interaction. You made it super nice and easy for me. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Talk to you later.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor, giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We got you.